Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's Thursday evening, 8 p.m., and you're listening to the home of Commodore 64 remixes, Slay Radio. Let us spice up your evening with Slaygon's incoherent ramblings.
Anywho Hazel.
And Ziona's pro dance moves to the best selection of remixes, sits, and demoscene tracks. Sit back, relax, and enjoy this thing. Slay tuned.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi everyone.
Hello.
Hi everyone. On I almost said after Easter weekend. No, it's not weekend yet. Okay, for me it is because I'm not working tomorrow in exchange of the last weekend. But anyway, the weekend is approaching, and last weekend there was Easter, and with Easter there is always the revision demoscene party coming, which this year happened to be online, first time in the history, and first time probably in the demoscene party's history as well. And
first ever entirely online party.
Yeah, indeed. And they streamed on Twitch, and you are able to watch all the productions on YouTube, and of course download it from the most standard ftp.scene.org if someone wants to have them. But today we are going to focus on the music competitions. So the rules are basically we play one music competition entry and then one of your requests afterwards. Because,
hold on.
Yeah.
Fucking relay didn't come online. The regular relays.
That means we are...
we're streaming live on YouTube and Facebook, but not on our own relays. I think people are now tuning in. Sorry for that. Something went haywire there, but I don't know what. But we should be back online now.
That's weird, because it's the Slay Radio page says for me that we are online.
Yeah, I know. Sometimes it's...
I'm sorry.
Hello.
Hi.
Sometimes there's a bit of a thing when it transitions from one song to another, and you hit the go live now button. It kind of gets confused as to what to play right there. So yeah, it's a very rare thing. So I basically never did anything about it because it was easier to put a "get me back on air" button on there.
Okay, so did you get us back on air?
Yes, we are now on air on the regular relays as well. So, hello people, and welcome to this regular pants on day of the week and shave your face day of the week.
Only for you.
Yeah. Well, even the ladies with some beard can shave if they want to.
And the pants on, I mean.
Yeah.
Most of the listeners, I bet they are not sitting in pants at the moment, or maybe just in panties, or who knows, boxers, or
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, exactly. But since you set up these stupid webcams in the studio, we cannot sit in pants and panties anymore. So anyway. So yeah, and then I know that we will get the answer we can, but that is not the purpose of the show. So, and Martin said that I'm spreading the coronavirus through my microphone. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Seriously, I don't intend to do that. Anyway, I hope that everyone is safe and fine, and you're all, at least, well, during the circumstances, okay. Some people manage it better, some people manage it worse, but I think distractions are always nice, and if you keep yourself busy, it is always nice. So that's the most important thing.
Yeah, we've had some stupid shit to do basically 24/7 anyway, so, like work and I don't know, rendering shit and that sort of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Because fun.
Will you show any new animations?
No,
I'm
going to cut it together at some point to make a kind of a small storyline type thing.
Okay.
But yeah, the last render was a test to make an ion engine kind of fluttery effect thingy mob on the spaceship. Yeah.
Okay.
Looks cool.
Yeah, sounds nice. Yeah, he's absolutely all the time on Blender when he is not working. So yeah, there will be some nice things coming out
of work, I need to check out from work.
Please do that live in the show.
Add punch out. Yes, I am doing that right now because I forgot.
Anyway, meanwhile you are doing that, I'm kind of telling you that if you were on the release of the slayradio.org and audio only, then today's show will be all about one track from the revision music competitions and one track which is your request. So we will switch every now and then. And also we have a winner to announce, like around 9-ish, right? Because we will do live on air this randomization between people who told us the right number of eggs in the studio last week. So
the Easter egg hunt.
Yeah, so there will be a lottery between three competitors, because 3 of them hit it right, and
oops.
And we will definitely announce it around 9-ish today. So let's hope that all the people can join who are involved until then. And now we should start up the show, I think, with a very nice piece of executable music competition piece, which, by the way, won the competition. And about the executable music, you have to know that it could be like any platform, but of course it's all about generated synth voices, and the maximum size of the executable can be 32 kilobytes. So yes, 32 kilobytes. So and of course they have to contain the wave writer in them, and yeah, I think you should hear this, because
the play routine. You mean the play routine, or
it should be in this 32 kilobytes.
Yeah,
like
I was just confused about the wave writer. What that is?
Well, that is rendering the wave, basically, because the music has to be executable, so it's in an exe file.
So the play routine.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. Okay. Yeah, yeah, indeed. So, this was the winner entry, and the winner entry is made by Gargoyle of Conspiracy, and its title is Zero Sum Game. So we have 32 kilobytes, right?
Yeah, very nice.
Yep.
Not surprising though, if you consider that on a 64, sure, you have a FM synthesis chip in there, but those SIDs, they are essentially the same as this. Because they include the play routine, how to modify the FM synthesis sounds and oscillations and waveforms and whatnot, create new sounds. Yeah.
Yeah, so...
And that would eat half of the memory in Commodore 64. Sounds great, though.
Yeah, half of the memory of the C64. My God. Anyway, yeah, it's a really nice piece. So I think there were competitions that were better, and there were competitions that were maybe not as good as I would expected them to be this year. But it's like, it's all a matter of personal preference as well, of course. And overly summarizing, there were 5 music competitions. I was very wrong about that first when I announced this thing, because, well, technically it is 5. However, the 5th category is kind of funny, because the 5th category is always something conceptual.
Conceptual, yes.
Conceptual, thank you. So it's always building on some sort of concept. And this year, the fast music compose concept was to do sort of something between a song and a jingle, because it had to be maximum 1.5 minute. Sort of series like in the 80s, 90s theme
like a
song.
Yeah, exactly. A theme song category, I guess.
Yeah, and the results were very interesting, so we might show you a few of them, and some of them are definitely nostalgic, and they bring all the feeling back that
there was
that
some Cheers type thing in there, and kind of a relationship drama type thing, and it's like really funny.
Absolutely. So yeah, stay tuned, because it will be great, and also we will play your request, of course. So just post us requests as you feel like, or as you can. Not only from revision, of course, you can ask for anything, remix or SID or whatnot, because half of the show is still about home of Commodore 64 remixes, right? So yeah, but let's hope that we can show you as many tracks as we can squeeze in today, and maybe we can talk about the opinions afterwards as well. So, I don't know, should we add anything here, or should I play a next request? Or...
I think we can start with that. And people, please go and make some requests. You have the URL on the video screens. And if you're not looking there, go to the homepage, slayradio.org or slay.radio. Under live, make request. Thanks.
Yep, and now the first request of the evening is Crowd Guys. Wants to hear Crack Out by City Alliance, original by Ben Daglish. Greetings to Ziona and the IRC channel.
Hello.
And Ziona, who fell off the IRC channel right at the start. I always do that because I log in and then my screen goes black, and I have to return.
And I haven't even logged into IRC just yet.
Yeah.
I'll get there.
Yeah, never mind. He will get there. And we will play Crack Out for Crowd Guy.
Crowd Guy.
Yay! Sid Rip Alliance and crack out. I hope the guys are doing fine. I guess it's home office for everyone time, but I guess Necro had jobs where he has to go out. Well, hang on a minute, schools are closed unless you live in Sweden. So, are they still closed? I mean, no, are they still open in Sweden? Sorry.
I think the preschools at least are open. I don't know if all of the schools are open. I presume they are because of the problem with the government not having authority to actually close down anything like that.
Okay.
It's on a per school level, and under what's it called? Närvaroplikt, it's called, that we have, which essentially forces you to go to school by law.
Yeah, because I know. I guess many countries have that, but
No, I don't think they do.
I think my country certainly takes it as a mandatory that you have to go to school at least until you turn like either 14 or 16. But I have to look this up. So, yeah.
So one of the problems here is that the government doesn't have the authority to just overturn those laws and implement whatever is necessary. Yeah, it's a bit of a shitty situation.
Yeah, well, let's hope that it will turn out, well, better than expected.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, it would be worse if it was worse than expected.
Definitely, thank you. So, the thing is that we have this fantastic function again that you can request on IRC, because finally the IRC request got fixed, and that was Gohanks, right? Thank you so much.
No, Cocklink is someone else.
Anyway, whoever you were, thank you so much, because now we are so happy that it works. So, yep, again, you can send some. Goheng says, you got some weak government. Ours doesn't have the authority to limit our rights. Yes, it does. I know well, more or less I know the situation in Poland as well, Goheng, so I kind of have an idea. It's an interesting thing how countries step up in this matter. But anyway.
So, Banan fixed the
Banan, thank you,
IRC
Banan.
requester thingy.
Yeah, I remember, because he was...
Well, he implemented it kind of in a roundabout way, I guess.
Yeah, but it was excellent that you did, and we are very happy about it. So, again, you can request through the IRC as well. And if there is anything happening, I guess you won't see then your request is sent to the DJ kind of message that is usually coming up. But anyway, you can request also on slayradio.org, which is essentially the same thing. And we occasionally get requests on YouTube and Facebook as well. It's just very hard to gather them together. And I didn't take the time and effort yet to log into Facebook right now, or at least check what's going on right now there, because my computer is in use at the moment for music playing, and I don't want it to glitch. So that's my only problem.
I think they like the spectrum analyzer thingy, that one that I put on the stream now, that I had on the previous song.
Okay. That's good to know. Thank you. I have no idea, but thanks for doing that. You do things right now that I have completely no idea about, so you can do it, and I won't learn about it since I don't have it on my screen.
I also have one on the t-shirt here.
Yeah, I can see that, but it won't move.
No.
So it's a boring spectrum analyzer, but it's a very good t-shirt.
Yeah, so it's yours.
Thank you.
We are very functional today.
Yes, very functional. Let's hope that well, I'm not daring to hope for anything, but if function could happen, we would be so grateful. It's around September, as usual, but let's see what this year brings, because you cannot place a bet on anything at the moment, I think. But yeah, practically the guys are still preparing for yes. So as far as I know. So let's put it this way.
Yeah, I think many people are kind of expecting things to loosen up after June, July-ish, somewhere around there. So
Yeah,
it'd be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah, let's hope for good. And what would you say if we would continue with your brother's track?
And that's a nice one. Can we get a full screen on that?
Well, we can try, and I won't be able to do anything on my machine, either reading messages, then never mind. But yeah, we can try. So Alpa did a release for Old School Music Competition, and it ended up being on the 6th place out of 17 entries, so it's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
And some competitions were really strong in that sense that I was surprised that there are like quality releases even at the last place, and I don't understand why they ended up there. So yeah, it's really nice. And about the Old School Music Competition, it's a very, very mixed category, because it could have been anything from Atari through ZX Spectrum, and for a fact there was Nintendo involved, there was Atari, there was ZX Spectrum, of course Commodore 64 as usual, there were one 2-seed entry probably, or if I remember correctly, and Amiga Module as well. So Amiga Module could essentially belong to this category and track music category as well. So it was up to you where you want it to participate. But Alpa put its pull and wait track in the Old School competition, and it's a 4-channel Pro Tracker Amiga module. So let's have a listen.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-boom.
Okay, did you take away my screen,
I did.
please? Thank you so much. Okay, then. Nah, it's an annoying setup. I don't like it, but yeah, sure.
What's annoying about it?
Nah, it's like I want to do 1,000 things on my screen and I cannot mean why this is happening.
Technically, for that, we can probably sort something out somehow, maybe. I don't know. Anyway.
Somehow, maybe. Okay, then.
Do you have an open request today? All genres and platforms? No, Funky Data. It's one entry from revision. That was it over the weekend? Or when the fuck was it?
Yeah, it was over the weekend.
Sorry. So one entry from there and one request. And we tried to keep the request to C64 remixes. Just to kind of ground it into what we are actually doing over here.
They can request SIDs as well, I think.
Huh?
There is a SID request now in the queue.
Yeah. So, but C64-ish at least.
C64-ish.
Yeah.
So Amiga.
Yeah, that's Commodore, so ish, but not too much of that either.
Not too much of that.
We already had an Amiga thing on there with Alpa.
Oh my god, that's enough for today? How about the winner streaming music entry that has some Amiga kind of feeling to it as well?
Yeah,
maybe. For later. Yeah, right. Anyway. How was your week?
It's kind of busy. I kind of got a lot of things on my plate work-wise. Like I don't like splitting my attention between different things, and right now there's like 4 different things I need to concentrate on. So it gets a bit weird at times.
Yeah.
And one of those tasks had kind of fallen behind a bit, so I was working until 1 o'clock in the morning last night to kind of catch up a little bit on that. So yeah, not very happy about that, but then again, new job or a new position rather. So the past 2 weeks, so kind of fell onto a bit more tasks because of that. It is what it is.
I guess so, yeah. Interrupting your focus is usually also something that I don't prefer, but of course sometimes it just has to happen. So what can we do about it? Not much, I guess.
Not much. Just
Not
our
much.
jobs.
Yeah. Indeed. But other than that, it's kind of okay. I guess we are doing okay.
Yeah. How's your quarantine life going? Any gripes with the people you live with or anything like that?
I don't know. It's like, people tend to say that some people have like higher divorce rates right now because they
Well, good thing we're not married then.
That is a very true thing. It's like I guess the quarantine life brings out from everyone their maybe worse self, or I don't know if it can be the best self or the better self, but some people, I guess it's basically just making visible if something doesn't work well. Because,
it kind of emphasizes problems, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. So the problem is a given, but if you are like locked together, then you don't really have much choice anyway. And if you don't control it, it will grow up on you. And no, we don't have such problem as far as I know, but let me know if we do.
What? So you're relying on me to report accurately about the state of our relationship?
No,
wow.
and it should be done on air,
heavy.
obviously. Where else and how else than on air, obviously. No. Now we are doing great. It's okay.
Fun.
Yeah, fun. Yeah, but I try to look at it from the bright side as usual. So yeah.
I spoke to Andreas Wallström.
Oh yeah.
Was it yesterday or the day before?
The day before, I guess.
Yeah, it doesn't matter that much. The day doesn't matter. But he was out walking in the city and tried to avoid everyone and just keeping to himself and whatnot. But he just felt this really, really big urge to go out and move anywhere. He was really getting claustrophobic and whatnot.
Yeah, I can understand. I'm not getting claustrophobic, but sometimes I have this very, very much need to move, to actually move, to do something. So maybe, yeah, it would be great to do something about it, because this is the only thing that gets me bonkers. I just feel I need to jog or run or walk or whatever, just, something. And Tender Recluse, hi. He requested a SID from Chris Wilsbeck, and it's called Metro Dance. And at the moment, I don't even know if I heard this song, but it's a SID from...
I think I've listened through all of his SIDs, but I don't recognize that at all.
Well, he did it in 2006, it claims. So,
okay.
A late SID. And it might not play because we have different setup, right?
Play it again.
I don't know.
Hold on. No, play it again.
Yeah, I'm playing.
I think it is playing.
Are you sure? This is the spectrum analyzer.
Take the headphones down.
Yeah, I can hear them here, but it never went on air last time when we did it.
It's playing.
Yay, Chris was back, and the Metro Dance, and it always ends so suddenly, unless it's kind of fading out, which is rare for a SID, but sometimes it happens. So
Quite rarely, actually, because they usually loop.
Yeah, and if you loop them, it's even better. That's what I usually do, but I forgot to do this now.
Mm-hmm.
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 Right. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure a lot of people had a lot of fun on the weekend, even if they were so fascinating. And Martin mentioned that he spoke with Gargai for a short while as well on the streams. So yeah, on Twitch, basically, people could interact and all of that. And the only reason why I postponed to rewatch the thing is that I was very much on the roll at work. So I'm kind of starting to worry that I'm getting as a workaholic at the
14
moment.
14-hour days. Insane.
Yeah, it's okay, but it got finished. I'm so happy about that.
Yeah, that particular project, yes, until you get to the next one.
Yeah, it's one thing with this home working from home thing, that it's very hard to switch your brain all of a sudden to now I'm going to relax mode. Like you finish whatever you did, or you don't finish, which is even worse because it keeps annoying you. It just gets back. It's not finished, and it's not finished. I have to start tomorrow with that, and I didn't finish it. And now it just keeps annoying me until I tend to it. So that's why I kind of start to get over things sometimes. Like that's one of the motivations, at least. It certainly helps.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm pretty sure that everyone had a lot of fun, and it was certainly a huge help for all those people, especially during Easter weekend. So it's a big respect for everyone who made this happen, and I think that the amount of releases is also amazing compared to the fact that it wasn't it was an all-9 party only. So I
maybe that actually contributed to there being more entries.
Yeah, that might as well, because
isn't it usually that you need to be there to have a contribution?
At some parties, yes.
No, on this one.
On this one, I think that remote entries were not allowed. I have to look that up.
Yeah, I think there's enough people on the party itself to fill up every category twice over, basically. So having remote entries don't make much sense. So yeah.
Yeah, but it's all that we have to say that 21 entries in the PC demo category, which is the most important one of the day and night whenever the compos happen, and always the last, obviously. 21 is a really good number, especially for like these circumstances.
Blackjack!
Yeah. Blackjack, indeed. So it's
yeah, exactly. But the point is that it's easier to submit an online entry rather than actually traveling there and contributing.
Well, it doesn't cost that much.
So in a sense, it's easier to get more entries that way. And if Revision historically haven't accepted remote entries, I'm guessing that many people actually want to contribute online.
Yeah, absolutely. So that makes also a lot of sense. And I really like the fact that they have like always something unique to offer as well with this fast music competition. And especially this theme that I'm pretty sure many people was happy about, because and also it turned out great. So
yeah, some entries were just brilliant there.
Yeah, absolutely. It brought you back to the feeling. And yeah, the topic was create your own classic TV show theme from the 80s or 90s, and from Married with Children over the X-Files or Sledgehammer to Night Court, get inspired by the classic of the era. So I think it's a brilliant idea, and I would warmly recommend you to listen to the entries. There are plenty of them, and since they could be maximum 1.5 minutes long, I would suggest that we listen 3 of our favorites from the category after each other, just so you get a feeling of it. The first one was the winner, and I'm just hoping that I will be quick enough to update the stream titles here, because most of them are 1 minute long. And it's then I think the second probably that I lined up, and after that an entry that ended up being on the 6th place. So it's not always I wouldn't say that it's always the top 3 that we go for. Most of the times it definitely gives you a feeling which feels technically the best, but it's not always the most important. So here come 3 entries of the fast music competition in different styles, just so you get the TV series feel. So how is everyone doing?
Instant 80s, yes, Michael Wildhagen says.
Definitely. and some 90s feel to it as well.
Yeah, and Boss Wank on YouTube said, "Whoa, blew my ears out, the volume."
Yeah, it might be sometimes tricky too, but we have still the compressor, right? So
Yeah,
it kind
but
of
on the,
evens.
on the video streams, it's very light.
Oh my.
It's not the same
Right.
type of compressor as on the regular relays.
Yeah, okay. So, yeah, probably
Working
this
on
is
that.
why. Sorry. And the good thing is that I see 2 people around from the winners out of 3. I don't know about the third one, but if you are listening at the moment, just so you know, some of you are the winners.
Winners of what?
The winners of the egg hunt. So
because
soon.
we were talking about compo winners earlier.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I'm just switching topic without announcing it for you, obviously, as I usually do. But just so you know, we are approaching the time when we will do the how is this called in English? Lottery, kind of.
The draw, the lottery draw. I
lottery
guess.
draw between
we had 3 correct answers on the Easter egg hunt, and we're gonna randomize the winner out of those 3.
Yeah.
And we're gonna do it so you can actually see how I'm randomizing that. So there's no trickery or anything like that.
Yeah, exactly. So you will be able to see it live on the screen, how the randomizer of Slaygon works.
Yes, and then you can test it yourself online as well, so you can verify that there's nothing fishy going on or whatever.
So cool. You have everything prepared for that?
No.
No? Okay.
But it's fine. We'll sort it out.
Okay. Would it be enough for you if we would play Machine Supremacy and Ziona Sisters for you to prepare?
I think so.
Okay, because Bitin wants to hear the classic Ziona Sisters of Machine Supremacy, and obviously it's a classic, and we are always happy about it. Yeah, right. Almost as you say. So yeah, let's play this song, and let's hope that after the song we can return with the drawing.
Yes.
Right? Yes?
Yes.
Can you confirm? Okay.
I just did. Yes.
Okay.
It's a confirmation.
Then I'm able to announce it. So just so you know. Okay, then. So yeah, Forbidden Machine Supremacy and Great Ziona Sisters. So one of the most ever classic C64 remixes, or one of the most C64 remixes that is. No, never mind. I'm confusing words today. I really want to talk like correctly because all the time I'm getting corrected by Slaygon. But apparently I'm not
all the time.
Well, 90%.
That was an ironic correction, by the way.
Exactly, 90%. So
no, not 90%. What do you think?
80.
No.
5.
No, 5 at most.
5% at most.
At most.
No way. I don't believe you.
When would we be actually talking otherwise?
Yeah, exactly. Like,
exactly.
I especially love those moments when when I'm really, really explaining something passionately, you know, and of course I'm making an English mistake, and then he intersects like, but you don't say it that way, you say it that way. Who cares? There are like moments for grammar, and there are no moments for grammar, for me at least. And yeah, I know. And you always say that there's always a moment for grammar.
There's always time.
My God.
Well, actually, turns out I am ready.
Turns out you are ready.
Yes.
So are you sure?
Yes, and it's 9:00, just as announced.
So 100% sure that we are able to do the lottery draw for the winners of the egg hunt right now at this very moment.
Right now, at this very, very moment, I'm going to switch over to my laptop view here. There we go. And as you can see, I have a little page open called randomizer.org. And at the top of the video stream, you now see... and if you weren't part of the lottery draw anyway, you weren't watching the video stream, so you can just go away and make coffee and come back in about 5 minutes.
Okay.
The 3 people that got it right, which was incidentally 7. If you're interested in exactly where they were, you can point to your microphone right there. One of them was there. 2 of them were behind me right here. 2 of them were on the Commodore 64, and 2 of them were on the tractor mixer on the overview camera behind you. So that would make 7.
So yes, the magic number is 7, not the 3 people. Because,
and the 3 people that got 7 correct, not 7 correct answers, but got the correct answer, which is 7, are listed on the top, which is June Bula, or whatever. Got the posted it first. I0 shortly thereafter, and then Boswank also posted it. The correct number. So what you can see on the screen there with the random number generator, what I have done here is that we will pick the winner out of the last one of 64 sets that we're gonna randomize. And since we have 3 entrants, each set will have only 1 number in it, and it's gonna randomize between 1 and 3. The winner will be whatever the set number 64 is. So if set number 64 says 3, Boswank wins. If it says 1, Yunbula wins. And if it says 2, I0 wins. So let's randomize. Here we are. 64 sets of 1 unique number, range from 1 to 3. And here are all the random numbers that were generated. And we are scrolling down to number 64. Who will win? Who will win? Who will win? And it's number 2, I0.
Ooh, and I think he is with us on the IRC. So I0, please drop a private message, or we will drop you a private message. However, we can reach you, because we need your address. Yes,
and for those not here for the egg hunt last week, the prize is a... let's see if I can find that one. There we go. There's the rules of the egg hunt and whatnot. The prize is the 25 years later Turrican 2, the orchestral album, signed by Chris Hulsbeck himself.
Yes. So congratulations, I0. Very nice. hope you already made. No, you didn't make a request today yet, but you also can try. And I guess we will carry on then with the revision piece right now.
Sounds like a grand idea.
Grand idea. Okay, then. So the next revision piece ended up on the second place of streaming music competition. Since, as Uktumi said in the Facebook comments, the Old School Music competition was really, really strong and great, and we played quite a few. Then I guess we should also proceed with a few streaming music entries as well, because
I think so. Some of them sounded really fucking nice.
Yes, and it's for your information, if any one of you doesn't know the competitions, at the streaming music there was only one rule, that it shouldn't be longer than 4 minutes, but essentially it can be any format, any techniques, and you can use anything really, unless it's a commercial sample or something that you are not supposed to use because you don't own it. So that's also one of the rules, but I guess that's obvious for most of the people. And the second place, Saga Musics ended up on the second place with this very nice and bouncy track, Tap Dancer. So Martin Land can prepare to dance in the living room kitchen
Put
right
your
now.
tap shoes on.
Yep. And it will play eventually, but of course I made it sure that I cannot play anything else until I ended up on the second place with this very nice and bouncy track with the time travel. So yeah, almost. This is why I didn't want to switch on Facebook, because at least I see the comments, but I didn't want to hear whatever happens. It will play eventually, but of course. But I made it silent.
Just mute it. Press the mute button.
Muted it. I did it, and it came back. Whenever I do back the volume, then it came. I kind of adjust the volume of the Facebook as well. Never mind. So Saga Musics and Tap Dancer ended up being on the second place, and right now let's hope that it will play as it should. Slaygon Music's and Tap Dancer. Wasn't this a refreshing piece?
A very nice one.
Yeah, let's hope I did not accidentally press anything here, because I guess I kind of directed the mouse to your keyboard and I didn't notice. But
yeah, I don't think I mapped anything MIDI from the keyboard
no,
to
it's
any
not
of the
your
controls.
keyboard, it's the mouse that I pressed.
Okay.
So
okay.
yeah, but really nice entry. Ended up being on the second place. It really deserved it, I think. So, and you will hear more. So streaming music is the category that has the least limits. Essentially, it's the category for recent musicians, even. But yeah, I guess it's also very rare that a party has 5 music categories. So that's... And the tracked music was actually going out of fashion for a while at most of the parties, because they thought that there are not enough entries anymore. So they felt like it's not appropriate if there are like 2-3 modules coming in and they do a category for them. But
yeah, it's come back in fashion.
Yeah, exactly. And especially at a party, which Revision is the biggest demoscene event at the moment, I think, in the world. Of course, you have to have these. And it's interesting how track music and old school music is sometimes also tying together, since old school music can also have Amiga mods. So
Jason Parker on Facebook says, I've not heard this one before. Maybe I have. Great tune! Well, it was released last weekend, so unless you were around to listen to the live streams and whatnot, or downloaded the archives from scene.org or something and listened through.
Yeah, ftp.scene.org always have the latest party materials. So if you go, I'll just tell you the path. If you go there, ftp.scene.org, you can go there from the browser as well. So it's completely public. And you go to pub and parties, and then choose the year of the party. And then, of course, this is Revision 20 that happened on the weekend. And you can also check
Party of the year.
This is a very old school way anyway of putting up materials, but it's a very efficient way. And the results you can always find usually in the root directory of the parties as well.
Yeah, FTP is very good if you want to mirror something. There's very good tools out there to mirror an entire FTP site.
Yeah,
and those are very nice.
You don't have to do everything like one by one. And Votega, hi! And of course, Peter Clark. And sorry, I have to catch up with Peter. The messages today. I'm
meeting day today. It's just been swamped with meetings and very little time to actually work. You
had a pretty rough day today regarding meetings. Yeah, that's true.
But it's over now.
Yeah,
but it's over now.
I'm happy, because it would be very, very strange if you would have a meeting in the middle of our show. So, yeah, that would be fun. And Votega must have joined recently. But as I said, I have to catch up with the messages, because now I'm struggling between Facebook and IRC. And she said, I'm done with online stuff. Turns out I'm not an introvert. I need hearts and the Volvo sofa.
Who would have thought?
I wouldn't guess even for a minute. You're not wow. It's not
that... surprise. Complete surprise, I promise.
If you know her, if you have met her once in your life, it took you about 0.5 seconds to realize that she is an extrovert, or even less. I guess so. So, yeah, let's hope that we don't have to stay for very much longer in our homes. But who knows? If we have to make sure that we entertain ourselves properly, right? Mm-hmm. And in this show, hopefully not only entertain ourselves, but that's another...
Well, this show actually gives us a reason to put pants on, so that's good, I guess.
I guess, yeah, that keeps us in shape. In terms of our sleeping. Speaking muscles, I wanted to say. No, it won't work today. I don't know why, but never mind. I prepared the request.
You did?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, good, because we have a bunch, I see.
Yeah, and definitely we have a bunch. So that's going to be great, because I think we are pretty much covered until the end of the show now. And GoHanks had a request, which is Chrono and Fifth Axis, the last Axis mix, needs some nostalgia tunage today.
Ooh.
Yeah.
At least it's not tuna.
Yeah, that wouldn't be good for you. That was Chrono and Fifth Axis, the last Axis mix for GoHangs. Thank you for requesting this nice thingy. And this time, by playing the next tune, I'm going to make sure that Facebook shuts up meanwhile I do anything, because I'm really afraid that once I raise the volume again, it will act like it affects it too.
No, it shouldn't.
I know it shouldn't.
If you press the mute button, it doesn't.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, no. Yeah, it's still like I'm not at my most patient mood, I'm afraid. It's like yesterday I noticed that, well, I have to look up the tax kind of account that I have like in my home country because there were some misunderstandings going on there. Namely that I pay, but I don't know if it ends up on their account or not. So
yeah, that's so weird. So weird.
And when I kind of noticed what sort of tool it has to be used for requesting the status of your account, I I instantly felt like all the rage in the world and anger and all of that, and it ended up being as a Facebook post.
You had to share your pain and anger.
Yeah, in my native language, good for you guys who don't know that. So I guess it's better that way. Let's say that there is a lot of room to improve regarding that type of user interface that they created for that about 20 years ago, or I don't know when, but
it's a bit like in the US, a lot of the unemployment software or the software that drives the unemployment office and governmental kind of things, they're written in COBOL. It's an ancient thing that was kind of around in the 60s for these mainframe computers.
But we talked about this, that even here in Sweden, and they are like technically really smooth when it comes to logistics. I admire the Swedish logistics so far. I really love it. I live here for 2.5 years. However, there was some governmental portal by you as well that was like looking like, oh my god, so last century.
Yeah, but at least not from the 60s. But the thing with the US unemployment thing, a lot of that apparently is written literally in the kind of 70s or whatever. Like,
fantastic.
Before it was
my god.
hip.
I just don't know, why is this like a global tendency that governmental sites are so shitty?
With this kind of thing, I think that once you paid a lot of money to get it implemented in the first place, you don't want to spend a lot of money maintaining it, because it's not like you're trying to sell something. So you don't need to be on top of things. So there's no need for them to actually kind of be current in that sense.
It's way better to cause a headache for all your citizens.
Well,
that is
if you
true.
have to do something like pay taxes, and this is the only way to do it, they don't give a shit if it's hard for you. As long as they get their money, they don't give a shit.
Yeah, that is very true, I guess. Anyway, that was just a little bit of sidetracking. So I was a bit upset and impatient, but turns out I wasn't the only one, because, of course, Facebook and the hive mind usually kind of people appear when you share your pain that had the similar kind of pain. And, of course, other people appear so as well who don't think that you are right, which is absolutely fine. But it's like, I guess it has to be raised again and again. Maybe if something happens once, it's like, certainly it would be more important expense than building a stadium, I guess. But
probably, it would probably cost less.
Yeah, I think so too. That's the thing. Like, yeah.
A stadium doesn't kind of contain all the people that need to pay taxes, for instance, so you would do the people a better service by fixing that.
Yeah. That conversation goes far, far away. Probably we don't want to go there. So probably we want to play an entry. What would you think of?
I don't. I tend not to, because it hurts my brain.
Oh my god. But if you really, really have to think, then you have to tell me. Think. I know, Boz, if you are ever listening this, think. I know. Think. Yeah, they taught me this.
When she says think, if you people have seen Wallace and Gromit, imagine Wallace speaking. That's kind of how I picture her face when she says think.
You don't have to picture my face. I'm right in front of you. Yeah, never mind. Anyway, what would you say to listen to Elman's old school music competition entry?
That sounds great.
Which incidentally was played as the last entry and ended up only being on the 4th place, like out of the top 3. How it can happen with Elman? My God. So but it's a really nice piece. So let's have a look, listen, rather listen, I think.
Look, listen, whatever, the thing.
It's playing. So Elman and Microgroove, and this was also from his upcoming vinyl cartridge album, because he will make a cartridge album as well.
And on the video stream, I actually showed his entry for the digital kind of modern graphics compo. The first one he's done in the digital realm because he draws most of the time.
Yeah.
This back here, for instance. So I was showing that El Swampo thing. But for some reason, the video stream has decided that the green screen thing I wanted to try out earlier kind of stuck with my stream. It showed a very weird version of that. So I would suggest you go and look that up on the archives at scene.org.
Yeah, the graphics competitions entries are also there, so you just go there, and we can also highlight the URL if we want to with the FTP, where you can download all the entries that happened for the weekend. And the song, if you had any doubts, the song that you heard was a single SID, so it's not a 2-SID, it's a single SID.
And single speed,
single SID, and 17 kilobytes. And it's also part of his upcoming vinyl that we both bought as well. So I'm just looking forward to it to come. Very, very nice. And we are not even half of the prepared things for today yet. And I also have to say that Vokani had a very nice shoutbox message. He said that if it weren't for Slay Radio, I would have gone utterly bonkers over here. No lies.
Aww.
Thank you so much.
Aww.
And we are so happy that we can contribute. And especially Slaygon, who makes this entire thing happening and being available for 24 hours. And our cats are less happy at the moment, but they are also grateful.
During daytime at least, they're not really used to having us home so much, so they are happy like fuck right now. They're very social cats. So Michael Wilhagen actually commented on that earlier on Facebook, that this quarantine thing is very, very good for cats, and yes, it is.
Yeah,
I've not seen Puko so happy in quite a while.
Yeah, absolutely. They just keep purring the entire day that we are here. I don't know what they will do when we go to work again. Never mind. Not going to happen overnight. So, that was it. So still several great entries are coming up. And for now, the next one is Musk, like long K, Musk's request. And he said binary to wax, which probably refers to Rise's old school.
It most likely does, yes.
Yeah, wax to binary mix, which is certainly one of my favorites. So we are always happy to play this remix for you. No, is it?
Yes. Because you hear the wax.
computer is stored as thousands of zeros and ones called bits. On a CD-ROM, bits are represented by microscopic holes and bumps called pits and lands. When a laser beam is reflected off of these tiny hills and valleys into a photodiode, they turn into an electrical pulse that a computer recognizes as a stream of zeros and ones, thus recreating words, images, and sounds. Reflected off of these tiny hills and valleys into a photodiode, they turn into an electrical pulse that a computer recognizes as a stream of zeros and ones, thus recreating words, images, and sounds.
Images and sounds. And videos and pictures and sounds.
Via MIDI.
What's up with Ryan?
Bonswank says on YouTube, it's been 100 years and still going strong. He's addressing that to Slay Radio. If it wasn't for Slay Radio, I would have never learned naughty words and phrases in Danish, Swedish, and Dutch.
That's...
I'm sure you would have.
And you have like all the languages prepared as a trigger as well. Does it work right now? We have to try it out.
That actually might work.
German.
No, it doesn't, because that's the part that is broken.
No, Cocklink fixed it.
Okay, so Cocklink, thank you, Banan.
Yeah, so fully functional.
Wow.
And Vokani added here that I always listen to Slay Radio while I work. I only turn it off when I have Skype calls with clients. That would be fun in the background with the clients.
Yeah, instead of pause music, you have some blippy bloppy shit in the background. That's nice.
Yeah.
I actually, like I mentioned on the previous show, I think that we used the studio as a kind of a secondary meeting room. One of the first meetings I had with the new group I transferred to within Ericsson, I was doing from the studio, and it was kind of required to have a video camera running to introduce ourselves, and so they could see our faces and whatnot, since we're not in an actual meeting room. And they just very many of them in the meeting went like, "Is that a studio?" Yeah. It's so I had to kind of show them around a little bit. So that was nice.
And yeah, he also said that I work from home all the time, but with lockdown I have my wife and my son home with me, and that is a recipe for disaster, if nothing else. Thanks to Slay Radio, I closed my door, turned up the volume ever so slightly, and relaxed. Yep, well, I get it. I have all my respect for parents, like all of them, like all the respect in the world. I absolutely love kids, but I really don't know at these times how the parents manage all of their work, attending to the kids and schooling them as well, because at some places, sure, they try to do the Skype lectures and everything, but no, it doesn't work everywhere, right? So all my respect goes to all parents in the world. Seriously, absolutely fantastic.
I wouldn't say all, but quite a few of them at least.
quite a few of my respect.
There's a few parents I would not give any sort of grade.
Okay.
If there was a grading system, they would be outside of it.
Yeah, there are always such people, obviously. And we have a saying that exceptions strengthen the rule. So how is it in English, if there is anything like that?
You have a what?
Saying that exceptions just strengthen the rule, which not really sure if there is an English counterpart for that.
No, the counterpart would be there's always exceptions to the rule, but I'm not familiar with any saying that it says something about strengthening the rule.
Okay.
Because by default, if there are exceptions to a rule, it weakens the rule.
Yeah, I know. This is why it might not make sense, but this is a Hungarian expression that I tend to use sometimes. So sorry about that.
And Armandoc says, "Am I fashionably late?" Yeah, with about an hour and 10 minutes.
No, it's all right. You can come anytime.
It's fashionably late.
It's like a discussion. You can join anytime. It's not mandatory that you have to be there at 8:00 sharp. Of course, we are happy about you if you are there, but...
Yeah, and Uktumi actually says that they have a similar saying in Spanish.
Ha! You see?
La excepción que confirma la regla.
Spanish is such a beautiful language. I love it.
The exception that confirms the rule.
Aha! It exists in Polish as well. And it's not a saying in English, obviously. Yeah, this is what happens with me sometimes when I try to explain something to him and I realize that no, that toolkit that I have, the language toolkit, is not really appropriate to kind of explain these things. And yeah, hi Armandox, welcome. And to everyone else that I haven't greeted yet in this evening as either, because yeah, it's like way more things that I try to pay attention to right now with the new setup. Sorry about that. But hi Spawatch as well. And of course, yeah, I will probably try to gather all those people together and greet them anyway. And what would we think about a piece of tracked music as the next track to play?
I think that is a great idea. And just a little note, Tenno Recluse on YouTube asked if it's something with his VLC player or whatever, because the stream titles seem to be lagging. And it's a manual thing. When we start a song, it's not updating at the very second it starts. So it takes a bit of a while for it to propagate through all the things that it needs to propagate through. It's and besides, it's a manual step that needs to be actually typed in.
Yeah, exactly. So even if I type it in instantly, still it wouldn't make it through for a few seconds. So
especially with the revision stuff, because those you need to actually type in all of the characters manually. GoHanks made a little auto fill thing. So if you start typing, it's going to look through the database, the rotational database. So you can pick something from the drop-down list. So that's a nice feature, but doesn't help with the revision stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So I have to figure out my own ways here to type it in. Sorry about that.
And just to reiterate the topic of the evening, because Armandox is so out of tune here today, it is a revision. There was this party last weekend, first online only demo party, and we're doing one song from that. And one request in between. So that's exactly the topic.
So 1-1 is the rule for this evening, and revision is the biggest demoscene party at the moment in the world, I would say. So if people are there, so they end up with visitors somewhere between 500 and 1,000, I think. I'm pretty sure. Still, so a lot of visitors from all around the world happening in Germany, but of course now it couldn't happen because of obvious reasons. So maybe next year, and let's hope we make it next year, maybe live as well. That would be so much fun.
You're so funny.
It's very hard to get him to like PC related demoscene parties, but last year he made it to function.
Parties as such. Just these PC
related. I said they heard me. You didn't hear me.
I just heard a demo scene party. Well, I'm not sure you see it from this angle, but you certainly do from this. When we speak, she speaks away. Now she's looking at me, but that's the angle. Speaks away from me, so sometimes I don't hear her clearly.
Never mind.
Aww.
Never mind.
Maybe I should actually put these on. Okay, speak.
Right.
I
now,
can hear you now. I can't
loud
be
and
asked.
clear in stereo, unlike before.
Yes. But
Right.
I can't be
So,
asked to actually wear these throughout the show.
yeah, I know. It hurts the ears and all of that.
It
So,
does.
never mind. I think we should definitely show you the winner entry of track music competition, which...
Can we get that in full screen?
what?
Can we get that in full screen? Don't have to, obviously. I'll just put the spectrum analyzer on. It's fine. Just play it.
Right. Anyway, it's Reshoot Proxima made by Virgil. And about track music competition, you have to know that it can be either mod or S3M, XM, or IT, sorry. Yeah, so impulse tracker, screen tracker, fast tracker, or pro tracker format. And the max file size was 2 megabytes. And no remixes and no covers were allowed. So this was the winner entry of the competition. So 4-channel Pro Tracker module won the competition.
And it sounded excellent.
Yeah, it was
Excelente.
really nice.
Excellent.
And there were also participants like with 25 channels. So just so you know. Yeah, so it's not only for modules. Not everyone wants to do modules. Some people just went back to Impulse Tracker or Fast Tracker or, I guess even Scream Tracker, but that would be rather Impulse Tracker because for later, why not? I was always wondering that I just always had this feeling in the back of my head when I listened to those things, and I always had installed both of the trackers, that Impulse and Scream Tracker sounded somehow a little bit like different, like they put an emphasis on like different frequencies, or the kick drums and all of that were coming through better actually for some reason. And I don't know if I'm just having this idea in my head and it's completely not true, but XMs never sounded like S3Ms or ITs to me.
I only worked with Fast Tracker, so I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't even hear the difference, so I don't know.
I don't know. It's like maybe the player of it had a bit of a different
it sounds like it.
way. Yeah, but anyway, yeah, if you noticed it too, at least I get a confirmation. If you didn't, then never mind. It might be just a personal perception.
Or maybe there's a different workflow that promotes one type of music instead of another. Yeah.
Yeah, but I listened to quite a few modules through both of the trackers, and it always gave me a different feeling.
So playing the same module on both players, you mean?
Yeah, but yeah, exactly, like playing the same module even, but it also counted if you created the module in IT format, because somehow those ITs really sounded good sometimes, and I was surprised how good they sounded. And
maybe actually Boz has reverse engineered one of those mod players, I think. So maybe he has some insights into what might be the difference there.
Yeah.
He actually joined us on YouTube now.
Oh, cool. Nice.
Hello, Boz.
Hi, Boz.
Boz.
Yeah. So, maybe we have an insight, maybe have some confirmation from others, or maybe they just tell that, no, it's like completely just your perception, no one else's. It's all right.
According to Uktumi on Facebook, says S3M and mod contrasts against XM and IT.
Even against IT? Because
XM and IT on one side, and S3M and mod on one side.
Yeah, but here's the thing, that the S3Ms were also like massive, sometimes with 8 channels somehow. And IT kind of continued the tendency because, well, it also had like the very same user interface and everything. And it also sounded good in my opinion, sometimes better than the Fast Tracker modules. So yeah, I really don't know what causes this, like mixing or just...
It doesn't sound like mixing something.
It's a weird thing. I cannot explain it.
8-bit versus 16-bit. Yeah, could be that.
It's just the kick was kicking so much in S3M and IT.
S3M and mod 8-bit samples, and XM and IT 16-bit. Maybe that is the answer. You get more resolution out of the samples. Who knows?
Well, in the background there is an S3M playing, by the way. Of course, a rendered version of it, but...
Yeah, and on the Amiga, there was, when Pro Tracker and all of that with the 4 channels was popular, you also got, what was it, Octamed? Something like that?
Yeah, there was such a format.
Which essentially just split the samples into half and played, fiddled with them somehow. Can't remember exactly how. But
that's weird. I never got to a closer connection with Octamed, but... I certainly heard about the format at least. Anyway.
Scream Tracker is nice because you can mix in the FM chip on the Sound Blasters as the old fart. Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Anyway.
I
let's
never
get
looked
back.
into the technical details of the Amiga players or the tracker type players anyway, so
Yeah.
I'm just talking out of my ass anyway.
We can get back to requests now, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Zeron wants to hear Bruce Lee remix. That was the specification. Hiya! Bruce Lee remix. So I guess I prepared the most known Bruce Lee remix, or at least you would think. I think this would be the first one you think of when you hear such a request. So it's obviously Luke Hash, and also he made a YouTube video version as well. But this is uploaded to RKO2. Lukash's tunes are really good, but sometimes they are so short.
Yeah.
This is me complaining. No, it's okay.
No, it's not.
Well, okay then.
Make them longer.
Make an extended version.
Extended Slay Radio version. Yes, please.
Yeah, we would love that. Yeah, at one point maybe we should reach out to him.
Yeah, that would be nice. I'm guessing that if we get an interview with him, he would probably wear some sort of mask.
As usual.
Yeah.
We shall never see his face, obviously. This is part of his image.
Well, it kind of goes with the times, I guess. he was well prepared long in advance.
Well prepared, the mask?
For
right,
the
of course.
coronavirus.
Now it's very yeah, I didn't even think of that right now. Don't bring it up because Martin Land will log off from the show every time he wants to leave us whenever we mention this topic. Which is valid, by the way, because who wants to pay attention to this thing right now?
Yeah, we get enough of that shit every day anyway.
Exactly. So if you want to be more informed, you can always go after it anyway. But I don't know why I started to have tears in my eyes.
Oh,
but
you got so emotional.
No, it's more like some sort of irritation going on there, I'm afraid. So
allergic to me, maybe.
No, actually,
Yes.
one thing that I'm afraid of, that I get allergic to all sorts of makeup, which is an unlucky thing because I like to wear makeup. So I don't know what to do with this. And the less I wear makeup, the least I can handle it. That is really weird. So it was not a problem when I went to work every day and I had it like all day long. I came back home, wash it down, all of that. Then I started to feel that it irritates. But now it's like after a few hours, I kind of feel like there is some sort of thing going on there and I don't know what. Anyway, I guess it doesn't concern most of our listeners, but just so you know, don't wear makeup when it irritates your eyes. That's a very useful information. Let's proceed with something else now.
I'll try to stay away from makeup that irritates my eyes.
I guess that's a good idea. Right. I prepared now a very interesting next entry. And you know why it's interesting?
No. Please explain.
Because you would think that you are listening to a completely popular radio station when you hear this. Seriously, I'm totally serious. Streaming music competition ended up being on the 4th place, and it's made by Alicius / Acoustic Rausch. So I think somewhere from Germany, most probably. And its title is This Ocean Can't Be Tamed. And seriously, when I heard it, I was confused, like, am I listening to the right thing here? Like, was this a part of the music competition, the actual music competition? It's very special in that sense. And it also happens rarely that we have vocals on, like, demoscene music. Sometimes we do. So sometimes it happens, but not very often. And certainly not this amount, certainly not in this style. So I think this was standing out very much from the other tracks, so to speak. And ending up being on the 4th place is pretty good, actually, from 14 entries. So yeah, I guess we are ready to give it a listen.
I'm gone.
From the start.
Been fighting on my own. Hate the breath.
There we go.
Do you think I'm crazy? Do you think I'm dumb? Did you think after all this time I'd come back home? That night you left me, I cried my tears, nearly drowned in that sea, but I made it here. Hate to break it to you, but I'm gone. Been fighting on my own for so long. You don't wanna know that I'm free. Going with the flow easily. You don't think I'm coming back, I don't give up like that. I'm with the waves, and they carry me away. You don't think I'm coming back, I don't give up like that. I'm a million miles away, and this ocean can't be tamed. I found my rhythm, all on my own. All the pain you given has made me strong. Nothing can touch me, I just float away. And you said you loved me 2 years too late. Hate to break it to you, but I'm gone. Been fighting on my own for so long. You don't wanna know that I'm free. Going with the flow easily. You don't think I'm coming back, I don't give up like that. I'm with the
entry, huh? You wouldn't think of that, right?
Tenor Recluse on YouTube says, "Are we sure that wasn't a mix-up? So there wasn't a mix-up somewhere. This got to the competition, and some blippy bloppy track ended up at Virgin Records."
Yeah, I was wondering about that very same thing too, and it ended up being on the 4th place, so it didn't even win. But it's like it is really surprising. So I would say that I think. If you look back in time on the 64 scene, there were some strange outcomes like that too, like Berserk's one of the summer songs, my favorite one, which is the not Experiment, this was the other one. I have to look that up, the title.
Yeah. And Board asked, "Who was this again?" Yeah, it's right there on the screen, mate. You're looking at
Alicius is the name.
Yeah, he's looking at it.
Yeah, hopefully.
he commented on Facebook on the video stream.
Okay. Yeah, right.
It's right there, mate.
There it shows. No, he realized it now. I can see.
Yeah.
Strangely enough, the video is not playing by me, but I can see the comments coming up, which is a good thing. So I'm not blowing it up. At least the next time I play something from my machine, that's good. But Blasphemy by Berserk, featuring Palazzo and Cage, must have been such an experience for the remix scene. I guess it was like something completely like a commercial track, and no one saw it coming. So yeah, and it's especially funny because I think demoscene has a tendency of having this typical demo music, which the typical demo music, I would say, sometimes doesn't have too much melody, and it certainly has a good beat.
That goes with era, and there are different eras in demoscene music. Sometimes it's very melody driven, and sometimes it's more sound texture driven. Sometimes it's more beat driven.
I think it's more like tech driven from the 2000s, and including not emphasizing the melody part anymore that much, because all you had is the melody around the 80s, and of course around the 90s, even in commercial music, there was a tendency coming in when melody wasn't the most important thing anymore, which is understandable because the people had more tools to work with and they wanted to use them. And then in the 2000s, they started to be like really, really electronic and really, really sometimes drum and bass oriented, and certainly there were no hooks sometimes, so it's like you couldn't hold on to many things, but the point was to stick with the beat and of course to sync the objects with the music as they are. So that was more important than
I think the same thing is happening in homemade music right now, as in the home studio, as this one especially. You experiment with what you have, and sometimes that is exploring creating sound textures. Sometimes that is sometimes that is exploring melody driven things, and sometimes that is exploring, I don't know, beat driven things. And I think the same in music when created at home is happening now, as was with 3D graphics and games, essentially.
Yeah.
You had on the 64 so little resources to work with, so you had to do good gameplay for it to sell. And then you got PCs, and all of a sudden is no gameplay but awesome graphics. Who the fuck gives a shit? It's graphics. Just get me a game I can play. But no. So I think we're, in a sense, in a bit of a transition period between this hobby musician type thing and getting into, I don't know, actual music at some point. Just trying to piece the bits together somehow.
Extra music.
With all these experiments that everyone is nowadays capable of doing at home.
Yeah.
Interesting to see where it goes anyway.
Board also commented on Facebook as I see it. Like, yeah, I think the quality of the compositions fell a lot at that time you were mentioning right now.
Yeah.
And it depends on your taste as well, of course. So some people go for the techie feel and the drum and bass and all of that. And some other people are blown away by the melodies like I am. And I think you are different as well. So you emphasize different things in your music, and you value different things in music in a sense as well.
Yeah, I'm not so much for hooks as such. I want to feel something. I want the music to kind of generate an emotion within me, and that's not necessarily done by melody. It does help if it's a good one, but oftentimes I find that a melody actually ruins the mood. So you have to remove it or strip it down to its essentials. So there's only a few notes in there that kind of guides you through it. As in, not guides you, but gives you a hint of where you as a musician wanted to go, feeling-wise. And then you as a listener fill in the rest yourself.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a lot of, I think, the reason why I like deadmau5 is because he does exactly that. For many people that like you, that like melody-driven music, doesn't work at all. But for
I would
me,
not say so. deadmau5 has something unique that I don't experience at like many musicians. He does something like very right with his electronic music.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like it. It's not that I think he would be my first all-time favorites, but I definitely appreciate all the efforts that he puts into it, and
it's kind of in a kind of weird middle ground where he catches a big bunch of people somehow.
Yeah.
From all sorts of interest areas. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it's request time now.
Sorry.
And
This chair is very loud. And yes, it is. Sorry, I
you are not really sitting comfortable there, are you?
I am, but it's very loud. It's squeaky.
Okay, I'll give you time to rearrange yourself, and we will play this song. During that, you can rearrange yourself. Gizmore wants to hear Iron Blades and the End Horizon mix. smooth and silky, as Boswang had said.
So what?
Smooth and silky,
Smooth and silky.
kind of.
Smooth
Nice
and
request.
silky.
Nice request. And I realized that we played Martin Land's request as well. I just forgot to announce that he requested it too. It was Elman's revision tune. So just so you know. And he was also claiming it like that Elman tune at revision old school compo, gonna play it anyway, right, Ziona? Yes, we did.
Right.
You're right. Of course we do. We are happy to play, actually, especially like we are happy to see when remix sceners are also participating in demo scene events and compos. That's very refreshing to see. So.
And Board is actually doing some amateur welding. So yeah, he's keeping busy during lockdown, so that's nice to see. What are you welding? New fence? Because your old fence is shit. It kind of scrapes along the floor and whatnot. So I hope you're welding some new hinges or something. I don't know.
I don't know, but looking at him, he's always busy with something. So I'm pretty sure that he will do it right, whatever it will be. Yeah, so nice. Hopefully you guys are doing good in Norway too. Let's hope for good. I guess people are good at distancing there too, so we don't have to worry about that part.
Now we're in this scene, we're fine. It's like nothing ever happened.
Yeah, indeed. But anyway, we are so lucky that we have these online events happening at least.
Indeed.
That's
like
nice.
every Thursday is pants day for me. It's great.
I guess it's pants day for you as well when we do grocery shopping, because
Well,
believe
that's
it or
very
not,
rare. It's not a scheduled thing.
It's
we
not.
ran out of shit. We need to go out. Okay, it's pants day again. It's not even on the schedule.
let's say averagely once every 2 weeks it happens.
Yes. And I ran out of cream, so need to get more cream.
Oh, yeah, that's a reason. Yeah, most probably there will be a grocery shopping happening on the weekend.
Yeah, and we ran out of like ham and salami and stuff like that, so need a bit of a
But
refill.
probably we don't want to discuss this in the middle of the show, I guess.
What's wrong with ham? It's nice.
Yeah,
and
okay,
bacon.
I love it. I love ham too. I love salami too.
Cool. So yeah, apparently he has fixed it. Board.
And
I mean,
Luna has a point, actually. The Gathering, Norway's biggest LAN party, was online only this year. When was that happening, and why I forgot about
which
it?
party was that?
Gathering.
Oh, the Gathering.
Gathering. But is this the same gathering that we are talking about? I guess.
I don't know.
It's, I guess I will just check.
But it's cool that all of these things. And Malthus was asking me on IRC earlier if Datastorm is planning on doing something this year. There's a couple of other problems with Datastorm. They've been going to this truck stop Alaska place for a number of years. Now it's shutting down. So this year, or last year was the last one there. So essentially Datastorm died with it. So I don't know if the organizers of Datastorm has planned on doing any online kind of thing, but I'll definitely have a talk with them and see what they're planning.
Okay.
And see if we can figure something out, maybe. Could be fun.
Yeah, and I haven't find the party history for now, but just some interesting facts for everyone to know that now the last party cancelled is happening would have happened on 21st and 24th May, between 21st and 24th May this year, and it would be a Swedish party. It's called Birdie 30, just so you know. And after that, Still, there are parties announced in June. They are not cancelled.
Yet.
Including those parties, there is a Cube party in Hungary, which is happening on my birthday. So I'm afraid that we might know where we might be, actually. If there would be any sort of
be what?
where we might be at that day, I don't know, but that seems
not in
like
Hungary, because there won't be any planes going to Hungary.
in June.
Yeah.
No, the planes are cancelled until the start of May, as far as I know. But
So far.
yeah.
Yes.
And
But it would be stupid to go at that point, seeing as the curve goes up still like a fucking straight line up. Still.
Yeah, I know.
So,
We don't know anything
not gonna
yet.
happen.
We don't know anything yet, but it's certainly interesting to know that the last demo party that was cancelled it would happen on the end of May. So June is still on so far, but
No, it's not on. They just haven't cancelled yet. I think is the correct way of saying it.
I guess.
AceDK just joined us on Facebook.
And Luna confirmed that it was a bit before revision. So, yeah. But he mentions it as a LAN party. I know that there is a gathering that is a demoscene party as well. That's why I'm a little bit confused if we are talking about the same thing here. But
Yeah, because the gathering, isn't that in Finland?
I think we might talk about two different things here.
Yeah.
Because, exactly. But as for an online demo event, I think revision was the first ever. And as for a LAN party, that's a good question. That's probably another story.
Yeah, so those would need to change the name to WAN party. Instead of LAN, Wide Area Network, WAN party.
Yeah, right. We should carry on with the compo piece here that I prepared. And this time I also prepared someone who is active from time to time on the remix scene.
Who is that?
Who participated in the old school music competition. And he ended up being on the third place, if I remember correctly. Let me check it. Let me double check it, actually. Yes, exactly. It was old school music competition, third place. And Theo did own composition.
Theo.
Yeah. And it's called Optimal Workflow. And what you have to know about this tune, that he did it with Virgil's Amiga Clang tool. So, and it's an Amiga 500 entry 9 kilobytes. So just so you know, 9 kilobytes music that we are talking about.
Yeah, this 64 Clang, the Amiga Clang is, I think, based on the 64 Clang VST that Virgil does. So you can do an entire song within that little plugin and export it to a little executable.
How cool is that?
Yes,
so,
he's a fucking genius.
Yep, let's give it a listen. Ba-da-bum.
Ba-dum-bum-bum.
Now you can finish it.
Yes, I know. I can see that on the iPad here.
So
And Dax and the people on YouTube have been talking a bit about the type of music that seems appropriate, in quotes, for a demo scene release. And they were still discussing this track that we played a few songs back. This ocean can be tamed. And I think Dax has a point in that people that release tracks on the remixing scene and on events like this, they tend to do that as like experimental things outside of the normal stuff they do, or people that are growing into their role as musicians, as such. So it's a kind of an interesting growing ground for musicians, I think, to find their own sound.
Yeah, that is
And when
very
you
true.
get to a level where you can essentially replicate a sound of a commercial track, you're kind of done on the scene as such, unless you go and do your experimental stuff commercially and then also release it as kind of a scene stuff, I think.
Yeah, it might be. However, people release things on the scene because they just love to do
Yeah,
the thing.
yeah, absolutely. And but there's still room to grow in all of these categories in many ways, and especially the level of stuff we're at on the remixing scene and the demo scene. It tends to kind of hover between playful, nobody cares kind of shit. It's still the mentality being playful. I mean, as in, I can release this and nobody will laugh me out of the room kind of thing. It's a kind of safe place to experiment, I think.
Yeah.
And it's refreshing.
That is very true. Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, who knows, we might get a copyright notice for this song later on. No,
For that
I'm
one?
kidding. No, not for the...
Oh, yeah. The
you know,
ocean thingy.
Yeah, so whoever the author is, make sure that you upload it first, because it can be tricky, just so you know.
It's not only about uploading it
No,
first.
it's not only about
uh,
uploading, that's just one of the components.
all the channels that relate to copyright. Never mind. I don't know about any of that anyway, so fuck it. Fuck
Okay,
it.
then.
Fuck it.
Yeah, if
Fuck it.
if you say fuck it, then we will carry on with
Yeah, fuck it, I say.
we will carry on with Boswank's request.
Hello, Boswank.
Hi, cutie. Please grab Slaygon's ass for me. And perhaps play some DJ Lizard Hilly Billy Bubble Bubble.
Lizard.
Haha, I love you. So I prepared for you Bubble Bubble Sadness mix.
Because reasons.
Because reasons, that is the only Bubble that I have here in the list. So if you have any other ideas, then just let me know.
No.
I think this is the one that he referred to.
It's fine. Just play it.
Yeah, we got it that this wasn't the one, but it's not DJ Lizard, it's DJ Pretzel. So you know, just so you know, this is why it
So
wasn't
get
the
your
correct
facts
one.
straight.
Yay!
Come on, Bubba. Let's play some Bubble Bobble. Yeah!
So this was the right one, and the reason why we played the wrong one because Wolfgang addressed this as DJ Lizard.
DJ Lizard.
DJ Lizard. I told you I cannot talk today. I almost typed actually by the stream title Bubble Booble, which
Boobles.
I don't know why this happened. Maybe because it was Wolfgang's request. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, he likes boobles.
I know he likes boobles. So yeah, it's never mind. It's just that type of evening. It usually happens. It usually is that type of evening, but today is more like that type of evening. For some reason, I just can't talk normally. But anyway, we played it, and it wasn't really a super long request. But now I can certainly do a time estimation that we are really, really far from playing all the requests today. So sorry about that, but late requests that arrived, most likely we won't be able to play them, especially that
unless they are very relevant to what we play.
Yeah, that is very
but,
true.
I switched off all the make request texts on the video streams at least. So
that's a good thing because now it probably wouldn't make a change anymore.
Yeah, unless like I said, they request something very, very relevant.
Yeah, exactly. So don't be surprised if you don't hear your request today. It very well might happen because we have like tons of requests in the background. I guess it's also because half of the tunes today that we play is decided by us because it is a revision tune that we wanted to show you because we think that on a way it is special, it is worth to highlight or something.
And they are awesome.
And the next one is definitely the peak moment or it should be the peak moment of the evening because it won the streaming music competition, the king of all music competitions. So, it is also a remix scener that won it.
Who was that?
Oh, you know who was that?
No, I'm asking you so you can tell the people that are listening.
Of course, it was Romeo Knight.
I don't have a vuvuzela, so unfortunately I wanted a vuvuzela.
Well, it will almost do. But yeah, we certainly noticed some Amiga tendencies there.
Yeah, it sounds like he went back to his roots and dug deep and thought, yeah, this is where I'm gonna stay. And did an updated version of the Cream of the Earth kind of thing.
And interestingly enough, there wasn't really a huge point difference between him and the second participant, which was Saga Music's and Tap Dancer. We played that tune today. That was the bouncy bouncy one, slightly
bouncy.
after 9. Yeah, that's a very good one as well. So yeah, that was a tight competition between them, but Romeo Knight won, and it's time for us to show you the winner.
Was zum Teufel? Die Kapazität ist überschritten. Zu viele Daten kommen zu schnell herein.
the winner. So this was Romeo Knight, and too many datas come too fast inside. Whatever we mean with this.
What do you mean with datas, and what do you mean with inside? I'm worried. Have we had an episode of something here?
An episode of what exactly?
Some sort of violation of privacy and intimacy type thing. What are we talking about with datas and inside?
Is there any plural of datas? I mean, data.
Yeah, data.
Data is data, right?
Yes.
So it's not datas.
Data is data.
It's exactly like fish, and there is no fishes. So
Well, when the fishes sleep, they tend to disagree.
no, it's just an interesting thing. Like you don't think of it for a while you learn English, and then all of a sudden it comes out, and you say fishes, and there is no such thing, right? So then you learn it for a life.
Well, it depends.
On what?
On context.
Because
What is Erika doing? She's out
Fishing.
there. What is she doing? She's fishing, or she fishes.
yeah, but technically that is not a plural. That is a verb.
No, it's not a plural.
That is a verb.
Yes.
So no, your argument is irrelevant. Right.
Very true.
We don't have that much time left of this
No, we
evening.
don't. 12 minutes.
Yeah, and I'm really in a big of a dilemma here because
You cannot play all of those in 12 minutes.
No. And I highlighted some of them. I think Banan definitely deserves a request because
He deserves a couple
because-
because I like his idea of being forward and fixing that with the cocklink thing,
Yeah.
which essentially makes IRC people able to request through IRC.
yeah, exactly.
Very nice.
We are
Reverse
super
engineering.
Yeah, we are super grateful for you, Banan, for fixing that, and you definitely deserve a request. And well, incidentally, he requested Peter Clark and Flimbo's Concerto, Opus 12 in C major mix. And Peter Clark is also with us on IRC and on Facebook. So I think that's
Everyone happy.
everyone happy. So it's a very relevant request for the evening. Yeah, that's going to be funny if now you have to calm down the cats. Because
Yeah, they were fighting over here.
yeah, I heard it, others didn't, and let's hope that they will survive the next 5 minutes that we have left of the show without killing each other, preferably.
That would be good.
Yeah, that
Probably.
would be awesome, definitely.
Nah,
Yeah.
they're fine. It's just Puko being a bit too, I don't know, sensitive or whatever.
She is always sensitive, silly. Yeah, but she will be. No, that's Zelda. Okay, then. Yeah, indeed. So it seems like we approached to the end of the evening.
Yes, we did. 5 minutes left.
Indeed, and we prepared you a very nice wind down. And Zelda, bless you, because she was sneezing. If anyone heard it, that
And
was
no,
her.
it's not dusty down here.
No, it's not, because someone vacuumed not that long ago.
Someone did.
Someone did.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder who it might be.
Yeah, it certainly wasn't me. Stella, did you vacuum? Maybe she got allergic reactions from the vacuum cleaner. Who
Well,
knows?
you know, it's just as the classical horror movie for cats, the scene for us when we kind of aim for the vacuum cleaner, when we even put it out of the shed, the tool shed that where we keep it. The cats are already completely nuts and afraid, and they run away, and they are traumatized for half entire day. So,
Half or entire?
well, an entire half day. Right. Yeah, so they're completely traumatized by that. So it's impossible to have them around when we are vacuuming. And
They don't like that air-sucking dragon.
air-sucking dragon. Yeah. Yeah, indeed. And since, we couldn't play a lot of requests today due to the thematics of the show, get back to us next week. I can tell you that for sure we will introduce Malthus's request next week, because it's a new remix, and we would be really happy to introduce it for you. But now, as a wind down, we prepared something else which is also revision related.
No.
And before saying goodbye, of course, we say a proper goodbye as well. So just so you know, especially in these times, if you want to have some sort of social life and entertainment during radio shows, then you can always go to Boss Radio at any other evenings of the week, where Ziduder and the others can entertain you. And Boz is usually personally there on Wednesdays, and occasionally on Sundays, early afternoon. Sometimes he makes like random appearances, random isolation shows. So you never know, you can always check back to the schedule, and sometimes it's worth to do that with our schedule as well, because who knows what happens. But most likely you will have us next Thursday as well, just as usual.
Yes, and thank you for joining us tonight, and also big congratulations to I0, who won the Easter egg hunt thingy.
Yes, we still have to. Yeah, I haven't sent my message. I just opened the window with him, but.
Yeah, but I0, you know my email address. Send me an email or message on Facebook or whatever, and we'll sort the details out and send you the album.
Yes, exactly. And my great news is that my R key started to act like my E key, so I'm afraid that there is a big shit going on in my computer already.
So you will be shitty with replying to emails, because they usually start with RE:.
Exactly. Thank you. Anything RE would be a difficulty right now. So yeah, it's just absolutely horrible. I really have to go to some sort of post an order soon anyway. But yeah, congratulations once again, I0. And thanks everyone for participating in the egg hunt last week. That was fun for us as well. And thank you for every person who participated in the revision compose, because you definitely keep the scene alive, and it is amazing. And we are so happy to introduce all those pieces as well. Or, well, not all of them, unfortunately, just a fraction of them. But
those we have time for, at least.
Those we have time for. And yeah, make sure that you check the materials, the full materials of the party, because there are amazing intros and demos going on as well. This time we focused on the music part, of course, and since they have a lot of music competitions, that wasn't really difficult. And yeah, absolutely. Just try to follow the demo scene as well, because amazing things are happening even in 2020 there, as usual. And let's hope that soon we can make live parties again as well.
Indeed. And reminds me I need to contact the Datastorm people and see where they are at, because I promised Malthus. So I'm going to do that.
Yep. So definitely remember that. And what we will say goodbye for today with is made also by Saga Musics. He did very well with the competitions. I think he participated at least three music competitions, or even more. Gee, have to have a look. Well, 2 for certain, I think. But there was even, I remember 3 for some reason, I don't know. But there are like a lot of data in front of...
I'm just emulating your typing there. Carry it on.
Lovely. Anyway.
Lovely.
Anyway. This is a tracker music compo entry.
Ooh, can we get that full screen?
No, we cannot, because I have to finish the show properly. And
Yes, you don't do that from there.
but I don't see when the song ends.
Yes, you do.
Damn it. Okay, we can. If you want it, we can. I won't see anyone saying goodbye either. I'm sorry, because it's on my screen.
Oh.
Oh.
Well, I can play it. Send me the link. I'll play it from here.
Okay. Where do you want to get the link?
I don't know. IRC?
IRC. Yeah, right. Then never mind. We are just sorting things out here.
Just,
Nothing special is going on.
give us a second to figure out some things. There we go. I has a link.
You has the link. Fantastic.
Oh, great. Okay.
Great. Is it?
Yes, it is. Great.
Hang on.
Yeah, I wasn't meant to start it just yet. Sorry, because I need to find this and do this. Cool.
Okay, so it's a tracker music competition entry, and it's made in Impulse Tracker, and it's 25 channels, and is described as a sweet, dreamy synth-pop ballad for these difficult times. So I think it's a very appropriate way of finishing our show, and thanks for all the participants of Revision, and thanks, big main thanks for the organizers to make this happen.
Indeed.
Yes.
Excellently done. And from what I could see, only had time this afternoon actually to look at it, but it was excellent. Nicely done.
Yep. So thank you everyone also for tuning in today, and see you next week, next Thursday. Have a good night, everyone. And of course, sleep in tights, as Slaygon usually says. And you can press the play button.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
64, Commodore 64, Commodore 64,
8-bit, no shit.
Slay Radio.